podcast guest challenge. Podcast guest challenge. That's what we're doing. I wanted to take a little opportunity to show you the power of podcast guesting, what it looks like, how it works, how it can generate more leads and prospects and sales, and how it's an evergreen lead generator into your business. Evergreen lead generator into your business. So if you're watching live, feel free to say hi in the comments. If you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments. And I'm going to walk you through, we'll do a little screen sharing, but I also want you to know about the Podcast Guest Challenge that we have coming up on April 19th. That's when it starts. You sign up at podcastguestchallenge.com. And like I said, we start April 19th. And let me throw that little streamer down there. Here's what we're going to talk about on the Podcast Guest Challenge. Number one, how to find the right podcasts for your expertise to reach the prospects, buyers, and decision makers that you want to get in front of. So how to find the shows, how to zero in using some proprietary directories, repositories, and search tools that you probably don't know about in the podcast universe, but that are extremely, extremely cool. They're cool and they're valuable. Next, you found the shows. You did your homework. You've reached out to the host. How do you reach out? What does that pitch email look like? So as the host of a podcast, The Speaking Show, we're already past 250 episodes, and as a guest myself on over 50 other podcasts, I can tell you what works and what doesn't when you're going to pitch a host. Now, you can get on all of the podcasts that you ever want to get on. And if you don't say the right thing and you don't do the right thing during your interview, none of those podcasts are ever going to generate leads. So we're going to fix that problem as well when you pop over to the Podcast Guest Challenge registration page, which once again, podcastguestchallenge.com, just so you know. So what to say and do during the interview. One of the secrets is how to sell without selling, and we're going to spend some time talking about that. And then basically everything that you need to take a podcast guesting strategy from, maybe that sounds good. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe that's a good idea. All the way to, holy smokes, I'm getting a steady stream of leads, inquiries, and calls because of the podcast guesting strategy that you have put into place. What does that mean? That means that we're going to give you, over the course of these 5 days in the Podcast Guest Challenge, kind of streaming along down here, Podcast Guest Challenge, the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set to turn podcast guesting into your number one lead generator. So let me show you some things. I want to do a little screen sharing, and I'll show you just 3 of the podcasts that I was a guest on and how this lead generation mechanism works. So you can start to whet your appetite. And when you sign up for the Podcast Guest Challenge at podcastguestchallenge.com, you will know exactly what you're looking forward to. So let me do a little screen share. I'm going to share the Chrome tab for, let's do this one first. And I want to make sure that we're looking at the right thing. So I'm just going to come back. Okay, so we should be looking over here at the Artillery website, and it's the Marketing Book Podcast with my friend Doug Burdett as the host. So let me show you what the result is here. So this is the guest interview that I did, little graphic. He's got a little promo video, little write-up here. And then this is where you can listen to the show. Very fun. You click this little play button. Here's the magic, though, and here's the lead generator. At the end of the show, Doug said, so David, where can people get connected and stay connected to you? And how do they get more resources? How do they get more stuff? So notice here, there is a hot link, David Newman's free action guide. Here's another hot link, David Newman's free webinar masterclass. And Doug, like some other hosts, they also say, oh my God, there's all kinds of great stuff here. Here's David on Twitter. Here's David on LinkedIn. Here's David's dog's website, where'swoofy.com. No longer with us, still in our hearts. His favorite books, websites, all this kind of crazy stuff. But this is where the juice is, right here. 1, 2, 3. So the way that Doug socializes his podcast is it's in the show notes, it's in the video, it's in the audio. And this we did, when did we do this? I'm trying to think back. Was it 2015, 16, something like that? I can't really see a date. But it was a good number of years ago. And this podcast is still generating leads for us today. Still generating leads for us today. So I want to show you at least two more. And Dean is here again. Dean is in it to win it. You are in it to win it, my friend. Thank you for sharing the love. Thank you for sharing the broadcast. Thank you for popping the link in here. And Copy Green is here. I am amazing. Yes, I am sort of amazing. It's weird. I'm not sure how I do it. It takes a lot of time, but thank you. All right, let's go to podcast show number 2, just to demonstrate what's going on, show you the power of this, how exciting it is. This is a podcast that I literally did last week, torn from the headlines, brand new, fresh. Very exciting. Hang on. Here we go. I'm going to share. Let's go to Rialto Marketing. Here we are. Rialto Marketing. It's got to pop back to StreamYard and make sure. Yes, good. Rialto Marketing. Episode number 56 with my buddy Tim Fitzpatrick. Let's see how Tim does this, because this is even better. So the theme was what you need to know in sales and marketing for 2021. You can see this was literally 2 days ago. Well, I just made it. Sorry. April 7th, 2021. It's kind of gray on the white, so it's hard to read, but it does say April 7th, 2021. So here's the full video. So we recorded it on video. Obviously, a podcast on iTunes, Google, etc., is going to be a audio only product. But at the end of the interview, and again, minute 31 out of about a 33.5-minute interview, David, you've got a special gift for people. David, how do people get connected to more David Newman juice, more David Newman sauce? So you'll see here, it says doitmarketing.com/manifesto. We can listen to this for a second, see how it sounds. It'll probably sound terrible coming through the browser and then through StreamYard, but let's see. So it's going to give you kind of a supercharged energy shot of marketing, sales, and revenue growth excitement, and that's at doitmarketing.com/manifesto.
Awesome. And what share our books with you as well, with us as well?
Sure. So the first book is, I keep pointing the wrong way. This book is the Do It Marketing book, which is really kind of a small business marketing handbook, focusing on thought leadership marketing and doing some of the things that Tim and I talked about here today. And then my second book, called Do It Speaking, is specifically about how to use. Okay, so Tim is a very sophisticated podcast host. He realized that the podcast host's job is to market and promote the guest, so the guest will market and promote the episode. Think about that chain of events. So here is how you would listen to it, right? And of course, it's distributed to all the other syndicators, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Then he does a transcript. Well, Tim doesn't do the transcript, but you get the idea. He has it transcribed, rev.com, temi.com. And we scroll all the way down. Sorry if you're getting seasick here on StreamYard. But we're going all the way down to the bottom. And then here are some links, right? Links from this episode. So Do It Marketing Manifesto, once again, that is the lead magnet. That is the email capture mechanism. So this came out literally 2 days ago. Next week, next month, next quarter, next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, these links will still be pointing people back to my empire, pointing people back to my email list, driving opt-ins, driving leads, driving conversations, driving attention back to us and to what we do. So that is another fantastic example of what's going on there. And Tuli's here. She says so many great opportunities. And yes, there are a ton of great opportunities out there in podcasting land. So, what else do I want to share with you? Oh, one more. Hang on. We got one more. Got to do at least one more. This is really, really great. And it's from my friend Tom Poland. Share screen, Chrome tab. Here we go. Tom Poland has a fantastic podcast. It's a 7-minute podcast, like a micro podcast. It's called Marketing the Invisible. Marketing the Invisible. And I was on the show 2 years ago. Boy, more than 2 years ago. Look at that, February 2019. How to use speaking to build your reach and revenue. So again, he's got the video version for people that want to watch. He's got the traditional podcast version for people who want to listen, including, of course, Google, iTunes, all the usual syndication. And then resources and links. Once again, there's a different lead magnet this time. This is our action guide. But every podcast, and let me show you, I'll show you what this kind of goes to. I think I changed tabs, but we didn't change StreamYard, so please hang on. When you click on that link, let's see how fast I can click the mouse here. When you click on that link, you actually go to our landing page for this action guide. There we go. Now we're back. So I'm on Tim Fitzpatrick's podcast. I'm on Tom Poland's podcast. I'm on the Marketing Book podcast with Doug Burdett. All roads lead back to opt-in. All roads lead back to either our webinar or an action guide or the manifesto. It's some way for me as the podcast guest to capture email addresses on a regular, ongoing basis for every single show that I'm ever on. Every single show that I'm ever on. So when folks come to any of these pages, right, you click on, hey, I want the thing, boom, name and email. So you will get dozens, you will get hundreds. Over the years, you may even get thousands of email opt-ins, leads, prospects, people who raised their hands, said, yes, I'm interested in this topic. Yes, I'm interested in you as the expert, as the coach, as the service provider. They're getting your emails. They're getting your broadcast. They are now subscribed to you because they found you on a podcast. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about in agonizing detail. A lot of detail. When you pop over to podcastguestchallenge.com, we're going to talk about how to find the right shows exactly and specifically. We're going to talk about how to pitch smart, what to say and do during the show, including how to sell what you do without selling what you do, the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set to turn listeners into leads, and a complete end-to-end podcast guesting strategy. Let me repeat that. A complete end-to-end podcast guesting strategy. Notice how things are much more impactful when you lean this way, lean that way, and then lean this third way to talk about what you're doing. Okay. Complete end-to-end strategy. Podcast, guest, challenge. Now I'm getting seasick. Here. Whoa. So here's the deal, my friends. Once again, we start April 19th. I don't want you to miss it. Podcastguestchallenge.com. Let's just check the comments here one more time. Can't wait for this challenge. I know, me too. Thank you. Love how you always give us tremendous value. You're welcome. Totally tremendous. Carol says, all roads lead back to your empire. Yes, all roads lead back to the Carol Ring empire, for sure. I love that, Dean. All roads lead to home, not Rome, home. But not even your home page, the home of your lead magnet, the home of your email opt-in, the home of where you can start to capture leads, prospects, and sales. I know I should trademark that thing, Copy Green. You're absolutely right. Trademark that thing. Yes, we should totally do that. We'll think about all of these things when we're together at the Podcast Guest Challenge. Podcast Guest Challenge. Let's throw that domain up there, by the way, podcastguestchallenge.com. That's what it's about, my friends. Okay, it's Friday night. It's got to be bourbon time somewhere. If you're a red wine person, maybe it's red wine time. If you're a ginger ale person, maybe it's ginger ale time. I don't know. I think around here, it's probably going to be bourbon time. It's probably going to be bourbon time pretty soon. Very excited, says Copy. This is a natural, comfortable way for me. Think about it as one-to-many prospecting. Think about it as the ultimate speaking gig that never turns off. It is the ultimate speaking gig that never turns off. Ready? Ultimate speaking gig. It's the ultimate speaking gig. You give a speaking gig once, it's over, it's done. You're a podcast guest, evergreen, ongoing, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. It is feeding your system. It is feeding your lead generation machine. Carol says white wine time. Yes, white wine time indeed. And then plus likely actual bookings from your training. Yes, always looking for good guests to have on our spot. Yes, oh my God, that's so true, Dean. It's a viral strategy, right? First of all, one of the things we'll talk about is how to have every host refer you to 2 or 3 other shows. So this becomes a multiplier strategy. We're talking about that. Didn't want to spill the beans on that, but there is definitely a way to turn one podcast into 3 or 4 more. So all you have to do really is intelligently pitch the first handful and then watch them replicate and multiply. You should keep pitching, of course. Keep reaching out to other podcast hosts, but you will get 3 or 4 podcasts for every successful interview that you do the way that we teach you during the free Podcast Guest Challenge. When you go to podcastguestchallenge.com, I know you're already in. You're already there. I get it. It's all good. Podcastguestchallenge.com. That's where you're going. Bourbon time, wine time, ginger ale time, coffee time, tea time, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. I am really, really, really. So all of our challenges I love, but this challenge is especially near and dear to my heart. And I can tell you pretty much with a high level of certainty, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So go get signed up, podcastguestchallenge.com. I will see you over there. I will see you during the challenge, podcastguestchallenge.com. That's where to go. All right. Bye. Good night. Good weekend. Good hunting, good selling, good fun, good drinking, good eating, good friends, good fun. And hug your dog. If you have a dog, hug your dog. Okay. Bye.